Hello, everybody. As you can see, I have finally moved out of the bedroom and back into the office. So I guess things must be looking up. There is definitely something better about, I don't know, getting into the office, even if the office is just down the hall. So I had coffee with my friend Lee last week, and she said she was really intrigued that the um, the Bloody Birthday Challenge wasn't just about blood, that it was about happiness. And trying out these, I don't know, techniques to try and improve your happiness has always been something that I've tried. I can't say it's necessarily always worked, but it is something that I try to do. So I thought I would tell you about swimming. Now, there is loads of literature on how exercise can help with depression. In fact, way back when my friend Francois wrote a thesis on that, I don't know what happened to that, but maybe he'll share it with me and tell me if his thesis proved it or not. But anyway, be that as it may, I decided that I would try this as a method of trying to make myself feel a bit better. So it sounds so easy, right? Exercise. So let me tell you the backstory. The backstory is for about the last 5 years, I have been nursing a chronic Achilles tendon injury that flares up intermittently. And over the last few months, it's been really bad. I spent a fortune having needles stuck into it and massaging it and stretching. But the bottom line is that when I walk up the hill near me, I can hear it tear each time. So I decided, well, you know what? Walking is not happening. We're going to do something else. And swimming is something that actually, as a kid, I loved to do. I was a lifeguard back in the day. And I thought, well, you know what, let's try it. But it is never so easy with me as just jumping in because, as you know, I decided to do this. It's now midwinter, and I decided I would start swimming at the end of summer. So it was too cold, and I needed to go and find somewhere to swim. So the first thing I had to do, sign up with the gym. Now, this in itself is took me forever because I also know myself. I'm desperate to join the gym. I'm desperate to go swimming, but I go swimming once and I've got it out my system. So I dithered with this for ages, especially because my medical aid actually will pay for it, but there's a big sign-up fee. So the deal I made with myself was that if I go, I think it's more than 9 times a month, medical aid will rebate me my fees. So I decided that will be the thing for me to do. So after dithering for ages, I decided that I would, I'm just going to switch off my WhatsApp so you can't chat about my sister's medical tests for a new job. So I had to sign up for the gym, and I have to go 9 times a month in order to get the money back, which made me feel like, okay, you know, the penny pinching, but to me, thought that would be fun. So then I go swimming, and of course, I realized on the first day I need to get one of these little fellows. So this is the swimming cap. Because it's in the public pool, I have to have that. Short hair doesn't count. So I got a nice pink one. And for me, of course, it's not so, you know, the thing about it is that when you're feeling pretty miserable and pretty down, you go, oh, it's just getting a swimming cap. But this means going to the sports store, which for me is a pretty alien in place anyway. But we got the swimming cap. So then we go swimming. And then I remember that I really, really hate the feeling of getting water in my ears and doing that, you know, trying to get it out all day. So then we had to go and find some of these nice little things. I actually have really horrible waxy ears. So these things get pretty gummed up, which is quite gross. I don't know why I'm sharing that with you, but there you go. So we have to have the earplugs. So far we've joined the gym, we bought the swimming kit, we've got the earplugs. But then I realized that actually sometimes my neck gets really swollen swimming for long periods of time. So then I have to go back to the sports store and get myself one of these. This is a training snorkel. So actually it goes up the middle of your face like that. So it goes like that, don't you think? It looks like the thing you do at the optometrist. I have to go back to the sports store and buy me one of these. These are actually pretty tricky to track down in the middle of winter. Even though we have these indoor pools, the sports stores seem to assume that nobody will actually swim in winter. So anyway, got that. And then I jumped in the pool, and it was really nice the first day. But the thing that I really remembered when I was swimming is that it's really boring going up and down. So then I had to get myself Oh, first those goggles. But I had the goggles. These are actually Josh's goggles. The difficulty with these goggles is that they're open water goggles. They have really good visibility, which allows you to see all the grossness in the public pool. So next, trust me, don't buy the open water goggles, buy something else. And then I had to haul out this. So this is a little waterproof MP3 cover. It's a player. It's really clever technology because it rests on your cheekbones so it doesn't go into your ears. Anyway, what I discovered with this is I pulled this thing out and now I can listen to podcasts. So I listen to two sorts of podcasts when I'm sewing. One is called Lore, which is ghost stories, and that's quite short. And the other one is Stephen Fry's Leap Year. It is awesome. So if you're into like science and tech and history and how we make these leap forward, I love it. It's a really good podcast. Of course, it's Stephen Fry narrating, and he is just lovely. He makes you feel so clever and like he's your best friend, and it is awesome. So now we have a whole activity that goes on behind the scenes where I have to download podcasts and then get them onto this. And because it's a pretty old MP3 player, I can't use my Mac. My Mac won't see it, so I have to borrow the boys' PCs, and it's a whole big drama. But anyway, then we're not done yet. No. Then all my things, I need a bag to put them in. So this is now like, I don't know, my fourth trip to the sports store to go and buy this. And then finally, because I don't like my swimming costume making everything wet, I had to go and buy the super absorbent towel. Actually, this one is quite lucky because I stole this from Josh too, from his open water swim days. So the stars really have to align to get me in the pool. But I joined in mid-May, and I've been swimming at least 4 times a week, sometimes 5 times a week since then. But the question is, does it help? Well, the truth of the matter is I hate going to the gym. Every day I try to think of things that I could do instead of going to the gym. I hate being in the gym itself. I mean, today in the change room, I see a woman, she's reading in there. Why would you want to? It's like wet. There's naked people. Like, why would you want to read in there? Anyway, I really hate it there. But there's 2 things that I really like. So the first thing is actually I really enjoy the swimming itself. I really enjoy listening to podcasts once I swim. And I must admit that I really actually do feel better. So Francois, I can see you're on it. You'll have to tell me one day, actually, is there data that supports me? But the bottom line is that every time I get out of the pool, I do feel better. It does make me feel slightly jollier. And I notice on the days that I don't swim, I do find it harder to put one foot in front of the other and keep going. So my hypothesis on swimming, so far, so good. I found, as with the Bloody Birthday Challenge, when I was doing it, I found it a really successful way to make myself feel more engaged, to make myself feel like getting up. Swimming, again, I am doing it. I don't know if there's lasting benefit. I don't know if there's even supposed to be lasting benefit with exercise as a way of dealing with grief and depression. I don't know. But so far, so good. What I found is afterwards it feels great. I can't say that it makes me want to get up. In fact, I pretty much want to stay in bed rather than swim. But if I can do that kind of 5 minutes of just getting myself up and to the gym, once I'm there, it definitely is something that's helping. So 8 minutes later, the conclusion is, yeah, I think I am feeling a bit jollier. I think I am feeling a little bit better. And so exercise, unfortunately, it pains me to say this, but exercise does get the tick for me in terms of strategies for feeling a little bit better. Okay, whilst I have you here, please remember I put the link on the live recording doodad. Please sign up for the mailing list for Josh's book. As you know, in November, Josh woke up one day and he told me the plot of this amazing time travel adventure to save humanity. And shortly afterwards, he deteriorated and he never got the opportunity to write that book. I have spent the last few months trying to put pen to paper and trying to do justice to the story that he told. So that book is now in editing. We have a designer on board for the cover design. I've signed it up with Amazon, and I have this aspiration that my boy will posthumously be a best-selling author. So please follow the link, sign up, so that when August comes and we're ready to launch, you can buy a copy of the book and make my son an Amazon bestseller. Okay, bye.